Mr. Eggplant presents.
Hey guys, Tyler here, and thanks for checking out this video. And in this video we are continuing our Mythic Plus escapades, and we are running Underrot 13, and this was actually this last week on Monday. So I know it's been a little bit since I've done some Mythic Plus videos. I do apologize for that, and my channel has been kind of quiet lately, except for some small like Spyro videos, stuff like that, just because my work schedule has really changed at work. And I'm really struggling to find that balance right now, so bear with me as I'm trying to figure this out. I work retail, and unfortunately this time of year definitely starts to ramp up hours, that sort of thing. So anyway, just that was a little tidbit about what's going on for me. I hope you guys are enjoying 8.2.5 so far. I have not finished it myself, but I am currently slowly working on some of the quests as I have some time. But this run was done on the 21st, I believe, 21st, 23rd, if I can read it up there. And we are completing and timing this Underrot 13. So the affixes this week, or the week in question, are Beguiling, of course, since it's over a 10. It is Teaming, Fortified, as I get some items there to block my stuff. And then we also have Quaking, which for us, any marksman hunter knows that Quaking is super nice. The only problem with it is if you use your computation device that you have for your trinket. You'll notice I will mess it up quite a few times in this video, unfortunately. And also whenever you use your beam, you want to make sure and use the beam after after the Quaking comes out, because as you heard, it will fire lock you and then you lose that CD. So the group that we are running with, we're running with a different group now. The Canadian buddies we've kind of not disbanded, but they have had some real life things come up. Especially one of them had a child, so we have not really been able to run with them. So JB and I are running with a new group. So we have a Beast Mastery and a Marksman Hunter in this group. Pretty cool. We can kind of do a lot of things with two hunters. As you'll see with the third boss, super easy to cheese with one. When you have two hunters, way even easier than that. Then we have a Disc Priest, I believe. Actually, no, I think he might be Holy. And then we do have JB is now not healing anymore, but he is now tanking on his Paladin. That's actually named JB.
Even if she got the first.
And then we also have a warrior. So that way we get those awesome buffs that the warrior provides. So this was a pretty great run overall. We didn't have really any issues. The only issues we did run into are going to be trash before the second boss, just because we had a miscommunication in our group. Otherwise, this was a Underrot that went very smooth. We don't two-chest, that was our goal, but after we realized we weren't going to two-chest, we kind of just, took it pretty easy, and it was a great run overall. And it's a really nice higher dungeon for at least our group, as we're getting to know the group, which is very important. So we are using our invis pots here. I'm using the Skaggle drink, as you see there, and I always am super cautious and dismiss my pet beforehand. Also, if you're going to use a speed boost, like your Aspect of the Cheetah, make sure you use it before you pop it, because if you pop an ability while you have your, or you pop an ability while you're using your Skaggle drink, your invis pot, you will die, because you will come out of the invis and then you will die, because you will pull just about anything. So we are just going to bloodlust on this first boss here, and like he put me to shame. That damage from our Beast Mastery Hunter was real. Overall in the dungeon, I think I bested him, but not by much. And we have a pretty good combination of damage. Right now our warrior is not normally in our group. In fact, at the very end of this video, if I don't cut it out, you will see, you'll hear that our normal DPS actually jumped on right at the end. So it was a really quick boss, 45 seconds, I guess, to kill the first boss there. And as you'll notice, where I was walking there, I got stuck early on, so it definitely did not help my damage to get stuck like that. But that boss, I mean, we've been doing these bosses for a full expansion now. That boss is pretty easy, especially when she has no affixes. Like, I consider the Quaking, at least for a Marksman Hunter, I can That's not an affix. Like, it's not an affix at all. So, as you'll see here, I kind of split myself among the group. I didn't want to pull any of those lashers. You'll see me pull this. I'll feign death, wait for him to pat back, and then I'm good to go through there. And like I said, this is the one spot where we do wipe, just because we are pulling this group here, which unfortunately I was not a part of. You know, bad hunter is bad hunter. But we actually, one of those guys gets feared. It pulls the next group where you can see the next emissary, and then we unfortunately start to pull another pack, which just wiped us. So I will cut that part out of the video, of course. You don't want to see the wipes. You only want to see the good videos, right? So we have this next little group here, and then unfortunately is where we start to wipe. But when you have the Thirst for Blood on you, you want to make sure and run next to the tank, run next to somebody who can stun. Unfortunately, our trap will work as our freezing trap will work just for a second, and then he'll immediately pop out of it. So you cannot use your trap anymore. Otherwise, you know, that would be super easy. So see, there goes the fear. The fear goes into the next group, and then JB goes that way, and he's pulling his own, and now we die. That was a very nice transition by me. It looked like there wasn't even a transition at all. Maybe I shouldn't have told you. Anyway, so for our build, we are running. I am super cookie cutter, super lazy now, where I am running with the same talents that I normally run. Meaning I'm running my well, first off, for Azerite, I'm running with the Unerring Vision. I'm running with 3 Unerring Vision, 2 in the Rhythm, and 1, I forget what the 1 is. I think it's Focused Fire. So as you'll see me there, take all that damage. I'm a great hunter, taking all the damage with my pocket heal there. But as for my talents, the only thing of note really is I'm running with the ability that lowers the cooldown of my turtle. Just because it's not that big of a deal. And the other hunter is running with Binding Shot, so I don't want to miss out on the ability to heal myself a lot. And there is one thing too where he ran away. Yeah, he ran away from the tank and away from somebody that could help him. So obviously that's probably not the best thing to do. And as a hunter myself, I can do that where I almost die, or I find myself doing that. It's counterintuitive. You think you want to get away from it, but that particular mob is going to, you know, obviously follow you. So you don't want to die, especially die so far away from your group and your healer for that matter. So we're just going to continue through here. We're going to clean up this room. I'm normally the guy that has to deal with the emissary, especially the enchanted emissary. However, I am not this time, so it's super nice for me to just be able to just you know, interrupt when I'm supposed to, and then just AoE down the ads, because the way my build works and the way I have, you know, heavy mastery, heavy versatility, I can really dish out a lot of damage, especially when I can like spray and pray, so to speak. So we'll just get rid of this guy here, get rid of the bile, and I make sure and knock him back that way. Even though you saw that the bile was still going, it's not actually going to do damage. It just, if you do it like they said, whenever the animation is going, he'll continue to do animation, but no damage. And in this run, you will find me with my pet out a lot, just because there is one really nice pet that you can and make sure you want to have in your stable. I have it. It's the Dispel pet. It's very nice to use on the weeks where we have the Raging. You want to dispel that off. And we'll just finish up here. We'll get to this next boss here. Luckily for us, this next boss, we can Bloodlust because we wiped. Had we not wiped, we would have just continued forward, cleared the rest of that stuff, used my pocket heal there and my defensive, and then, you know, we'd go back to the boss, just because the bosses aren't really super difficult, just because you know, it's fortified. It's not tyrannical. Couldn't think of the word. But you know, these bosses still can hurt, and luckily for us, the damage in the group is pretty good to where we don't really have an issue with it.
Let's be honest, we're still pretty useful.
Yeah, Hunter's still pretty useful.
Still, like, break a whole lot of stuff, so.
Once we get this Mechagon down, I'll pull the
Emissary.
Yep. Greeley, Mr. Pixel. Right?
But I haven't been working on the neck nearly as much since it's only at 67. It was 65 like a month ago, but I've been playing a lot of Classic. So, like I said, it's not a big deal though, because I'm not doing Mythic. My guild's not doing Mythic, and to my knowledge, cross-server Mythic isn't available yet. It might be, but I just have not been doing, you know, really, I've been not doing anything. I get on for raid, but my guild is now no longer raiding for right now. Just because we're getting ready for the next tier, should there be one. There should be one, though. I can't wait to see what that is, and I'm trying to not spoil 8.2.5 for you guys or for me, just because, like I said, I have not got there yet. So we're getting ready for the second boss here. Usually, this boss is actually the hardest one in here. So I had a little bit of a lag spike there. I've been dealing with that a lot. As of late, especially if you guys had tried to watch some of my streams, I've just been like, I don't know if it's with my internet or my new computer or what, but it's definitely been kind of chunking me sometimes there. So I have the pet out because I am wanting to bloodlust the group, and as you see there, we want to stand near the wall. That way, he rushes the wall and then he spews on the wall. That way, it's all in a nice area, and you don't have to worry about just getting too many of those grubs up. So as you can see, like, our damage is pretty good. Like, I'm the third one right now doing 39k. Could be doing better for sure. But we got through that one. He's getting ready to tantrum here, and we'll just finish him off. Get as many of the bloods as possible. Get over here and finish him off. So this boss is usually much harder. And in later keys and higher keys, it definitely would be. But at a 13, it's very manageable, and we can burst him down pretty quickly. So we'll go ahead and dodge the charge there, and he's got not much health left, just under 1 million there. Just continue to kill the ticks, and then we'll move on to the next boss here. So down he goes. Very cool. Kind of cheese the DPS just a little bit there at the end, hitting some of those ticks. But I mean, I'm just using what I've got, right? So we'll move on to this next pack. And then on this pack, my duty is to always just interrupt the death speaker, because we don't want him to raise dead. It's very important that you don't get that off. So we'll interrupt that. And then what I do is I just AoE everything. So then I just spray and pray, because that's really what this build does. So it easily gets above 50k whenever there's a few targets like that. So I'll throw down my trap should he need it. That way, get the tar trap down, just so he can kite these guys, because they do definitely hurt.
I got first interrupt. So
down goes the can't even think what that's called right now. The stun. I for the life of me, I said it earlier and I can't think of it right now. But on this guy, we can't interrupt. Yes, we can actually. We can interrupt the horror here. We just want to make sure that emissary is not over the top of them too, which is doing the damage to us. I got confused with the emissaries there. Binding shot. There we go. I remembered. Clutch. Binding shot. So when we get into this room, we are going to pull everything on the right side. JB uses the method dungeon tool. That way he can map out exactly what he's going to kill and when. That way we can get as close to 100% as possible. So we're just going to focus down the emissary of the tides, of course, because she's the one, so we cannot CC any of the stuff that's around her, and we can't interrupt them, which is very important. So I'm just going to absolutely destroy this stuff. And I did want to mention too, had I been doing this, this was the first run we had that day, and I would have not been running with the condensed life force. I would be running with the focusing iris, especially because the trash is what's going to be hard in here, not the bosses. But I didn't have the right Azerite essence. Go figure, the hunter not prepared. But that is something that I would definitely run with. And in fact, I almost run with the beam exclusively in Mythic Plus now. When I do get on and play, like, it's nice. It comes up every 1.5 minutes. It does a crap ton of damage. And that haste that you get from its minor is still really good on bosses too. Alright. I forgot the memo to jump on my mount, but Oh well. So as you'll see, I do have the pet out too. I've just been keeping him out a lot more with these runs just because it's not that big of a deal. So this is going to be a fun pack. This is arguably the hardest pull in here just because there is a tides with those and you need to really interrupt those. So as you can see, I stood way back here and used all my big abilities, used my Cyclonic Blast on the speaker there. That way we can interrupt him, get back on the Emissary of the Tides. She'll be going down here very soon. And now she's dead. So we want to make sure and just spray all over these guys. There's so many enemies there that we can be doing damage on. And there down goes our hunter. Unfortunately, he didn't see that he had a totem underneath him. That completely happens. As he said, there was a dead body, dead corpse blocking the totem there. But we got it down no problem. So I focused the Defiler since it was almost dead. It was the lowest one. And then that way I can interrupt it too. So I drop down the curse, and then I will interrupt the next ability he uses, which is that Shadow Bolt Volley. Don't want that going out on the group. That's a large amount of damage. And then we don't want those Withering Curses going out either, because they do stack, and it's important not to get too many of those stacks.
I'm sorry about that. I had to take a call really quick.
And I guess I didn't even realize that in the run, because I'm watching this and doing my commentary over it. Our warrior wasn't even like listening. He was taking a call or something. I guess he was on call. I'm not sure what he does for a job. I know the other guys. One of the other guys in one of our other groups, he's an EMT, so he had to like constantly get calls. And I know for a fact there's several like potential good videos to show you guys. Well, we can't show it because he had to go and leave for an emergency. So we're getting up to the third boss here. And arguably, this is probably my favorite boss in here. I love this boss. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I have things to do and I can cheese it and make it super easy.
Warrior buff.
So we get our warrior buff up here, and we'll get the boss dead very, very quickly. So on this fight, with there being two hunters, we were just going to cheese one, then cheese the other. And by the way, that's a really important thing to do there. If you have in the rhythm, you want to use rapid fire before you use a castable trinket like that, because it does do damage faster, because it does take advantage of the haste buff that you have. So the pods are coming out here. I'm going to go ahead and use the upheaval here. That way it takes that stuff out. And then I'm just going to go to town, use my cheetah, then I use my...
Next to me.
Then I use my turtle, and that way I don't get any of the stacks. And unfortunately, we did have some people that were confused on what they thought I was going to do with my turtle, and to get rid of some of the mushrooms. So we didn't get too many stacks there. I think we ended up... I guess we got, what, one? We only got one, because we had somebody else clear very, very quickly there. So they got the stacks, the group did not. That's key to this fight. On this fight, it's you would rather kill yourself than kill the group, because those stacks will kill the group very quickly. So the boss is almost down already. Look, with the damage in our group, like we're melting through it pretty fast. He's only got about 13 million or so. I think it's actually 10.
Yeah,
so if you were running without a couple of hunters, you would just want to make sure and use the upheavals correctly. And then every once in a while, when you don't have stacks, you want to soak one or two of the mushrooms yourself. That way you get a couple of stacks. That's not a big deal versus giving everybody 5 or 6 at the end. That's probably not... You probably can't get through that. So I'm going to get rid of the pet here, stand here perfectly still, not get hit by anything, even though I don't think they would have done damage anyway. And then we're going to move around to the right side. Seems like everything we've done so far has been to the right. So he's got the interrupt on the serpent here, the worm, the grotesque horror, and I got mine up there. And then he's going to go ahead and pull the caster there as well. We'll finish off the horror, then work on the caster. And of course, it's the same caster as before, so you want to make sure and do damage to him and interrupt, or I should say do damage to the totem if you're going to get hit by it. And there I got arcane locked. I don't even know what I have that is arcane other than arcane shot. Maybe it was just like perfect. And then you either just run away from the totem or you can kill it. most people tend to run away from it.
have no idea
So
why
we had somebody bust about wipe us
Don't
right
go
there.
up there,
Don't go up there. Don't go up there.
Remember last night, Corey? Remember last night?
So you can see there is a grotesque horror there, and you definitely don't want to pull him. Somebody wasn't listening for sure, but we got it down, so that's all that matters.
We ended up
So
with
on
a,
this pull, it's just a big,
group that we were
beefy
doing
pull
this.
here. We want to make sure and just
ran into that
take
fucking
out the
arm
tides and then
while I was trying
AOE
to, like,
everything
pull the
else.
emissary and
So
shit.
there, our build is finally coming in handy there,
you
where
don't have to
we're
pull the emissary,
we're
you
getting
pull
some
the
good
pack
damage
power.
out there. We get over 100k on that. A lot of crits. Crits are very important for this this build when you run with Unerring Vision. And it's kind of nice that I am running with 3 right now, just because I got a better piece of Azerite gear. I will be getting another chance at a 445 Azerite piece here very soon. In fact, probably even later on this week, if I end up helping a guild with their ahead of the curve. I think I will be doing that. But we're finishing off these guys and moving on, and we're almost done with this dungeon. It's hard to believe that we've been moving through here pretty quickly. I know that this dungeon did get a bit of a nerf, meaning they buffed the time to time it. That was something that they did, I think, at the beginning of 8.2. I think they added 3 minutes to this one. So maybe we use that to our advantage. But we did, like, I'll be honest with you, a couple of months ago, I think my best time on here was like a 6. Like, it was just not a place that I run, primarily because I don't get anything out of here. Like, there's not a lot of gear that really help me as a marksman hunter, at least gear that I prioritize. So of course we'll watch for the gaze. We can't get hit by those guys. We'll pull both of the watchers here. And then I think we have these watchers. We have one of the snakes, or the grotesque horrors, and then I think we have 1 or 2 of the guys there, and then that's it. We're talking about the South Park stick of truth, where you're trying to find the little gnomes, and then you, of course, get hit by the dad's balls. That's always fun.
That's what it was. Fucking stupid.
So finishing this here.
Really, I know you like getting fisted, but honey, like, try not to get hit by their reach here, man.
Well, I mean, it's less fisting, more hinting.
Right. Stay right side.
You mean I don't go down on them?
So we'll finish our way up here, and on bosses like the last one, like, it's super easy. Like, we'll stick right around to the right side. That way we don't get hit by anything. We don't pull anything. And then, like, this last boss is a joke. Like, we just completely burst him down. So when I dodge this, that way I don't get hit by their ability. And then I can there's 3 targets. You guys know we love 3 targets as marksman hunters, because then we can just absolutely go crazy and do some really nice spray AoE damage. So I wasn't sure which way he was pointing, because he has kind of turning there, so I went ahead and used my turtle here. Not a big deal. You just don't want to get hit by that, because it does fear you. It can fear you into something like the grotesque horror to our left, and we definitely don't want to do that. So one's going down here. Our healer dies because clap, clap, clap. Nice job, healer.
Bro.
No, you can.
I'm gonna res you?
So we just want to make sure and not stand. If you're the one rezzing, you don't want to stand right next to that, because it will go ahead and pull you down. But as long as you're not standing right next to the opening, you won't get taken down. We have 5 minutes and 20 seconds left on the timer. Obviously, we are probably going to take advantage of that extra time that they gave us. Maybe not. We'll see. Let's see if there's 3 minutes left on the timer by the time we're done. But like I said, this one's an easy fight. We had enough of a bloodlust left too, so we have plenty of time to just absolutely demolish it. So this would be the one fight, and I actually talked about it in the video, I think, or while we were in group, that I would consider running with rapid fire, just because it's so nice on this last, on killing all of the spores. But obviously that's not, it's going to handicap you for the rest of the dungeon. But we've got 1/3 of his health down already. Obviously we don't actually kill the health, but we did fill his bar up once already. We made sure, and we did not do damage to the blood visages. We let him kill him, because otherwise they do a large amount of damage in that AoE area nearby.
It does feel like it would be useful to some extent, but multi-shot takes care of most
And
of
then,
it.
unfortunately, I don't think I get in this light. I just missed the light there. I thought they were going to stop. That happens. I got 4 stacks, but I get a a dispel there, so it definitely was nice that I got the dispel by our other hunter.
Gotta go around.
Which, if you're looking for a dispel pet, the Spore Bat is a great, or one of the Rays, the new ones in the area right outside in Nazjatar actually has quite a few of them, and those are really good if you're looking for that sort of pet. So unfortunately, the light was run through crap, and you definitely don't want to do that. It clears it, but you don't want to be standing right in it. But it's not a big deal, so I had the light on me. I'll run 2 who's left in the group.
I'm good.
So there we go.
We're almost there.
And the boss is almost full again. So the last 2 are out.
Where they're at?
I'm gonna get the one right behind him.
And then that's pretty much it. So I'm going to help him finish off that visage. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And again, sorry that it's been kind of few and far between on my videos with WoW content. It's been crazy last couple months here in my world. So thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing to me here and on Twitch at twitch.tv/Mr. Eggplant. And I hope to speak with you guys soon. So thanks for watching.
Oh yeah.
I got a haste verse belt.
Oh, look who finally decided to show up.